that I sent to you in Slack, that would make things easier. That GitHub doesn't ask you every time about the username and password. If you read that Slack page, that Slack link that I sent you, you will be able to configure your Git in your command prompt and stuff to not ask you every time for that. But still, so I have done that already. I'll try on somebody else's computer maybe to see if it makes any difference, but it wouldn't anyway. So let's say, so you can see my command prompt here, right? So I'll say git clone, and then what the repository that I want, there is a link here, clone or download. And you can copy from there the address that you want to clone. So basically what it does, it will make a copy of all the things that is in that repository, put it on your computer, and then it tracks the changes that you make or others make on the repository. And then you can always check to see which way do you want to go with, and then, okay, I want this change that this person did to happen, and the other thing I don't want to see in there. And so the easiest thing here is just copy and then git clone, do the Control V or paste here, and then there you go. So what I will have here is the CSUF data viz club.github.io in one of the folders here. So let's see if it's here or not. See, my own thing was before it was data viz club.github.io. It was a different name. So I should now have CSUF database club, whatever. There you go. It's right there. Then you can go inside it and change anything that you want. So let's go inside to see if all the files are there. Right there. They're all there. What if you want to change something? Let's say I want to just remove one file, let's say 404. So it's RM 404. I did remove it. And then what I need to do afterwards, if I want to change the repository from my own computer here, I'll just need to say git add dot, and then git. So in Git, the part that I'm doing right now is just staging the changes that I've done. So when I say git add dot, it's just let's get to know that these changes are happening, and dots means like every change that I've already made. And then git commit -m remove 404. This means you need to, so Git asks you to write notes for every change that you make, right? So right now I'm removing 404 from the website. I need to have this message in there, and then it shows on the repository that I have removed this thing. You don't give a comment anymore. It will ask you to. It doesn't. I think it doesn't even allow you to push it. Sure.
I know I'm unfamiliar with the command prompt. Before we move on, is there some people who'd like to ask Taha some questions?
Turn on your mic so that I can hear you.
What?
Sorry, Michelle. I'll talk right here, just for a split sec. I didn't know if anybody would like to ask Taha some specific questions prior to him continuing, because this is, if you're not familiar with the command prompt, this is a lot of new information for you. So I definitely want to make sure we're not just going past people's abilities to begin with. Any questions you would like to ask him up front?
So is this whole goal here just to be able to download things from GitHub, or with the IO, are we supposed to be able to upload things through the command prompt?
Yeah. So it is exactly as you said. Okay. You need to download stuff, and then you need to push stuff. But what Git does in the background, it saves a step by step what you have done to the repo. So you can go back in time and check, like most of the times when you're writing some code for your classes, you change something that you shouldn't and then go with it. And then after a long time, you get, oh, I messed up this part. I think I had it there, but I don't remember anymore. You'll go back there easily. And then you're done.
And the article he sent to me, there was well, the link actually had an article reference.
I think you need to unmute again.
And the link had an article, the one he sent had when it was going through the step-by-steps on how to implement it in R, there was more detailed explanations on how he's saying these things are saved as like a step-by-step process. So you can see the changes that are being made over time. And so there was a nice article about that as well, too, for more details if you're interested in learning more.
So these are the important, let's say, Git commands that you need to know. Git clone, git add dot, git commit -m, and then this is another one. Git push origin master. What it does, it just pushes whatever changes that you have made to the folder on the repository on the GitHub servers. Origin would be you, master would be the repository. Then something else that you may want to know is git status. If you say git status in this part, so let's say, so I've done git add dot, I've done git commit -m. I didn't push though, because I wanted to show you this thing. So when I say git status, it should tell me that I've saved some changes, but I haven't pushed it yet. On branch, whatever is ahead of that branch on that by one commit. Get pushed to do whatever. And then, so in a team project that we'll have all access to that thing, and then, so by night, maybe Randy puts some comments in, maybe Megan does some stuff in it. How would you get all the changes and then do your comment? It would be git pull. That's another thing. So it will pull every change that has been done after the time that you have been there to your computer, to your local version. That's another thing that you needed to know. And there are lots of other commands that you'll need it like case by case, and then you'll just there's tons of documentation on this. You don't need to worry about anything. Like making branches, that's also one of the important parts. So branches are important since you don't want to mess up the original code there. Sometimes you're so ahead in the project that you're doing. Like last semester, we were doing some logo recognition, and then we had all this great code, and then I tried to mess it up. So I was messing it up all the way. So I went into Python and I was doing parallel computing in there. So I needed to change everything. So it made a mess. So sometimes it didn't even work. So if I was doing all that changes in the original in like what they call it here, the master branch, it would have been like ridiculously bad and everybody would yell at me. So I made another branch right there. So I made my own branch, changed everything, and then I pushed it back at some point at the end of the project. I was, okay guys, we can now do parallelism on this, and everybody just agreed, and then I merged everything together.
An idea that I think
Unmute.
read about was kind of like when you have.
Can you unmute?
Unmute.
When you have software and there's bugs, but then you have new things that are coming along at the same time. So somebody's working on how the new and improved version can be.
All right, Randy, what did you do this time?
call. But I also want to let you guys know I'm recording this too, so we can save this kind of like, because I know he's going through a lot of commands at once, so you could be able to go through which command he did and how he typed it and things like that, so you'll be able to reference it later. Let me go make this phone call.
I can't hear you, Taha. Taha, can you turn your sound back on?
Okay, sorry. So there's also the GitHub desktop application that you can see here. So you can just download it from the GitHub, and then so what it does, it can just now you don't need to write down those codes that I told you about. You can just click fetch origin. That's the same as pull, and then like push stuff. You can see all the changes. So let's say, what it's saying here is that, okay, you have deleted this part of the code and then added this thing. So let's say, so I was doing, I changed the link here to this name, and then I was adding a button there, right there. It's just showing me that. I can accept it, or I can just reject that change. I have deleted this file altogether. I have added these files to the repository. So this is connected to CSUF data viz club .github.io. See the current repository right up there? Then I can change it to like my own right here. And then, so this is the changes that you have staged, or you have done, you haven't staged, or you have staged and you haven't pushed to the repository. It hasn't been accepted to the original repository. And I think that's as far as I want to go today with you guys. I wanted to also share with you something cool that I found out in the meantime. I was talking to Heide, and so she mentioned that we are putting Power BI embedded charts on their own website. So I got curious, and there was a new update going on. So let's check this one out, and I think you guys are going to like it. Let's see. So you can go into my own website here, and so comparison between whatever. See this.
This is your GitHub.
Yeah, this is my GitHub website. See this. This is coming directly from Power BI, and check this out. It's interactive. It's fully interactive. See this? This is the most awesome thing out there ever. It's better than Tableau. It's better than Shiny, but the problem is right now it doesn't allow you to put your own customized R graphics on there. You need to use DAX, and DAX is basically the functional programming that you do in Excel. You all have used functions in Excel, right? But it is very much evolved since then, and then you can do DAX in Power BI to build this kind of graphics. And there are lots and tons of things already there that you can just install in your Power BI and use. But if you want to share it on some website, first things first, you need to check that the information that you want to share, because right now I can just say, I think I can say show data, and then it will show me the data that I've used in here. So don't do like sensitive data in here, like social securities, nothing like that. Just like I was trying to push something first. It was like about the information of our university, and I just tripped out. So don't do that. Because people can see the data behind it. So I use Iris instead. And
Again, Taha, may I interject?
sure.
before he keeps going, because then we are at a point where I'm all like, this is really good stuff, but some questions. Something about what he's talked about so far, what he's shown you, that anybody would like to ask him.
Yeah, why is there missing
Yeah. Valley wants to know why there's missing values, Taha.
I mean,
She's the teacher. No, because this is so Setosa versus vertical whatever. So they didn't have that sepal width. See, in this one, they didn't have that sepal width in there. This is just a graph. Like, it's not a histogram, I think,
no,
even.
I didn't realize Iris data had missing values.
No, it didn't. So see, so it didn't. It's a reformat of the It's a
Okay.
reformat of the data set. So it's based on sepal width. The rows it's made long. So so it says that Setosa didn't have that sepal width.
I see.
See
Okay.
they?
And that's where the line.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Taha, you were saying we can't put our plots directly from R to GitHub yet? Or were we? I think I misunderstood you. What were you saying about our plots?
This is Power BI.
Oh, this is Power BI.
just Power BI.
Okay. But when it comes to plots that we make in R, well,
Everything can be put on the GitHub. GitHub doesn't care.
doesn't care. It'll do the file versions or it'll do the code versions.
You have the file versions in there. But if you want to show them somewhere, you can have whatever file you want on the GitHub. I think maybe there are some restrictions on putting exes on there, or something like that can be harmful to others. So don't put malware on there. But still, you can put any kind of data in there. So text, HTML, JS, whatever you want, just put it there. But then if you want to show them to somebody, then you'll need some platform to show them. And that would be like github.io that we are building for our website right now, or it can be something else. But it would be a website that would need these things to be embedded in there. So if I just put a picture in there, that wouldn't be any problem, right? I can just embed a picture in as an image in an HTML with some brackets around it and say, okay, we'll put some image in some folder. I'll just put image and then that folder, and it will pop up in your website. But if it's something interactive, like it's shiny that I needed to tell it what distribution to use, how would you do that? How would you go about that? Yeah, Power BI is the case, Shiny is the case, Tableau is the case. These things can do that for you. And then there was a problem with embedding those things in your website, and Power BI has solved it here. We have Shiny that allows you to serve whatever you have done on their own platform. So it would be like here, I have this Dirichlet process in the Shiny application. See, it goes to another website now because it is hosted on their own servers, and GitHub doesn't allow you to host our code, so they don't have our server. But Shiny has Shiny is basically our studio. That's the difference. So if you want to put like images of your graphs on there won't be any problem. No. Yeah, the interactive thing, no. Or the R thing, no. And then I also wanted to encourage you guys to go take certificates. So we have access to Lynda as a CSUF students. I have done like 2 courses right now. One of them was rubbish, but the other one was amazing.
Let me write that down. What is, actually, let's put
I
it-
can go, Ray.
I think it's in the student portal. So all of the
Go
Lynda
to
courses
lynda.com,
should be
right?
access through the student portal.
Yeah, lynda.com, you can go through our accounts, all free access, free unlimited, free materials. We get that because we're students here at this school. I just wanted to make sure Taha wrote the course that he felt, because I've gotten certifications in R through lynda.com as well, and I felt like one of them was was like super, super, super intro, whereas other one had a lot more of a statistical, like, oh, here's some basic statistics, a nice rounder picture for us as statistics majors. So, you know, I would have recommended that one over the other one. And,
Okay, this one, Learning Python for Data Science with Tim Fox and Elephant Scale. So this is not at all easy. It's
even though it says beginner.
but it helps you to set up PySpark, Spark, Hadoop, and so Jupyter Notebook. So it will show you how to use those things. And those things are what is needed right now from us as data scientists. If you want to go in the industry as a data scientist, sometimes they will ask you, do you know Hadoop? Do you know not Scala, but still, like Spark, whatever. And just familiarize yourself with these things, going through this Linda, and then you can go deeper. There are better courses than this even in there. So
yeah, for those of you for never who've done lynda.com, what'll happen even at the very end of this, they will give you recommended videos of next steps after that, which in my mind I have gone those routes and I've been all like, oh, that was cool. This was definitely not useful for what I'm doing now, but it's a play topic that I'd like to do more of later. And you'll get that general vibe right from the very beginning, so you don't have to watch the whole 6 hours to feel what you're getting out of these.
Yeah, but with this one, I think you need to watch the whole six hours and more. So, and then you can also, see, I went into my certificates and it shows me, okay, good job, you have earned a certificate, whatever. And then I can publish it in my LinkedIn.
Yeah, these certificates go straight to LinkedIn too if you want them to. So that's, you know.
Because Linda is a LinkedIn company, basically, and LinkedIn is a Microsoft company. So.
And what I was telling other people too is like building resumes, you know, we reference our lynda.com, or not our Lynda, we reference our LinkedIn's at the very bottom of our resumes, and also possibly our GitHub to show them what we can do with code and how we implement it. Just more of that professional atmosphere that we get to do. And Taha obviously has some really great experience within this. So, you know, even as a beginner, I feel like I have a great resource to learn how to do this even more. I've only played with it. May I share my screen real quick, Taha?
Sure.
But
yeah, I'm almost done, guys. Do you have any questions for me? I need to give it back to Randall.
I have one question that's probably super
Go ahead.
dumb. But so when you because here, so I need for a paper that it's getting published in biostats, actually the last thing that I need to do before they'll officially publish it is to upload my R code onto GitHub,
right,
and make it accessible. Like, and usually they like data sets as well. So when you upload like an R code, you know, and I looked at your GitHub and you've got like your include file. I know include usually comes with like HTML type format.
That's basically
so here, so what files like when you do like an R code, what other type of files should you have other than like, you know, for me just my .r file?
Nothing. You just need that
really
R.
Yeah,
that's
and then a description if you want, like a text file with a description if you want, something like that, and that's about it, right?
Let me just show you something. Look at this guy. This is Amir Ziai. I don't know if you guys remember him. This is one of the hosts. He talked for a previous club, and he's super awesome. But still,
Looks like a cool dude.
he is super cool. So he's doing this one.
Yeah, so if you like
Scala, Spark.
okay.
It's let's go into Scala. It's just I see this one IPython. It's nothing. So it's basically a Python code.
It's only a code file.
It's a code file, and you don't need to have all these.
Okay.
You just what you need is a README file. That when you start a repository, it will ask you, do you want a README file? Say yes.
Okay.
And just writing some stuff on there. Okay, this is the repository. So what you need first is to start a repository. start a repository, say I want the README file, I want the get ignore file, I need to have the MIT license, whatever. You don't need them actually, but what the README file is going to be read by the by the GitHub, but nothing else, nothing other than that.
What's the, you said ignore?
Get ignore is like you'll have in your so like in Windows we have something called thumbnails, right? Every folder you go in, you'll have thumbnails, and it's a system generated file. And you don't want to push those stuff into your Git repository, right? Get ignore, you can say, okay, I don't want this kind of files in my repository. Then I push.
Okay, so when I've like checked out like even other people who've done R, posted R files, like they tend to have like a lot of other stuff with it, and I was just curious as to like what was actually necessary.
So let's say let's just push some stuff for you right there. Sure, go ahead.
Well, I don't know if this will specifically answer your question, Valerie, but this is the link, and I'll repost this again, that Taha said on getting the GitHub with R&R Studio. And after following this just to a T, I was able to, I took our code from yesterday on the core block. And I was able to just put it there. Now I used our markdown, so I have these included. I don't think I particularly want those, so I think I don't know if there's a way to go. Again, Brandon, I just wanted to try to did I get something on GitHub code-wise? And Taha's reference was a very straightforward way to how to do that. So I will attest to his guidance that it didn't take me very long to do this. But if you're using regular R, I imagine these won't be in there. It'll probably look better. I don't know.
Let me just push another.
Yeah, let me get back to you. Right, but I just wanted to let you know what he's already given us, and just
It's that easy.
that's what you can get straightforward out of that.
Folder in a computer, and
here you go, Taha. It's all you, man.
So it's basically like a folder in your own computer, but it's on there, and you have the same exact version of it on your own computer. And then it just tracks it. It just tracks it through time.
You're doing the commit, right? Commit.
It just, so the messages would be the commits that you have done, but it just tracks the changes that you have done through time. That's cool. So let's say I'll make another repository, just right here, right now. So
I'm awesome.
I'm not awesome. So say what meeting, whatever. Meeting with, wow, that's important. Yeah, sure. Okay. So yeah, initialize the repository README. Add a license, the MIT license, and then add get ignore. But when you say add that get ignore, you will have like all kind of choices. So don't worry about it. Don't just add it, and then you can just copy and paste get ignore from another website, from another repository, and just put it there.
The MIT license, you recommend that's the one we should use? Okay.
Most of the people use that, so that's what I always use. So see, this is right. Meeting with Val. So in there, see, I went into the README, and then I can edit it.
Okay.
Put in meeting 11. 17. Learn.
Yeah, there you go.
And donuts. I can't spell donuts. Yeah, sure. And then you need to commit. So anything you change, it's always asking for commits. And sometimes it gets under your skin, but do it anyways. So it just asks, it just proposes update README, and then Nothing else. Yeah. And then no, your README is done, and you can see it right here. See? So I want to upload files. I can do it from here also. So let's say upload files. I'll just put in a. You can drag stuff. So yeah, I think I have file there. I don't know if I have all files. So university, Fullerton, Kaggle. I haven't done anything on it. It's just there. So I can just drag and drop. I can just add it right there. But yeah. It's true. I'm done. So it shows it here. So added files via upload, it just proposes to do that, and then commit. And it's on there. Right there. And then you can see the raw version right there. And I think it was an empty file. That was it. I told you I didn't do anything on it. I had better files to share, I don't know. Yeah, I can do better.
This is the last time Club Taha gives a presentation. All that suspense for nothing.
Let's see. See that the I don't know, like the rules that they use for naming the commits. It's always so don't use past tense. It's always present tense. Add something, remove something, delete something. So be precise about those things, because you're going to share this with somebody else, and somebody who knows their stuff, and then they'll look at you badly. Here you go. Then you can see the raw version of it, and that's it. That's it. So you can do it there as well, and then you can go the hard way and go into the command prompt that I love. You can also use the GitHub this stuff. Okay, go ahead.
What about that? So the history, if you click on that history, does that show like previous versions of that code?
Yes.
Or?
Yes. It does. So if you go into the history, it will show you whatever it's done to it. So
and that's where all
it's
your
just
comments
done.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so if I wanted to go to the original add file, I had access to that right then and there.
Let's see if I have some history on something.
So I want our page to look, not just your page, I want my page to look as good as your page.
What page?
Like that clean, that makes me look professional. I want to be.
So here. See, I have made so many
Okay,
changes.
and then when you click on that thing with the changes, so how do you access the older versions? Then is it on the right over there? Copy.
I haven't ever done that, but I know that there is
There's a
things that
way.
you can do here, and then there's things that you can do in the command prompt. I think you needed to check out whatever. Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
so it's
remember
there.
on the top of my head.
One of the things school taught, which I didn't get to go into, because it was an hour-long.
All right, sorry about that. Just click on this stuff.
Click on this one.
Click on this. So I want to see the code at that stage, right? Where did it go? So just click on it, and you'll see every change that has been done up to that point, and afterwards, and before that.
Okay. That is.
That's it. And then I know in the command prompt you can actually turn back time, go back to that stage of your repository. So you want to go back in time. So every change from then on, I don't want them. You can go back to there and just remove the rest, or just keep it as another branch or something. Okay, guys. I think
So
I'm
the
done.
articles he's let us reference really do show how this is helpful in the industry world when you're working in big teams, because so many people are working on this together as one. Even with, I don't know, the benefits of how I looked at my homework assignment a week ago compared to how I look at it now, it keeps track of your thoughts technically by saving your files through this. The article does explain, they do a nice even introductory. It's like, why save your R code here than in your regular, desktop? I mean, you do both, but here are the benefits to that. You get to track your changes over time. And again, there was an hour-long video that actually went through, and they were like, let's go through a tutorial of like, let's work with RStudio and GitHub together. That was part of, I didn't get to watch that formally. I can't critique how well it was, but again, it came all, this one link that he gave us expanded in so many directions to where you could keep just growing with this GitHub idea and how we want to share our work with others. So, definitely, I felt it was an easy read. Just like anything, there's always new. There's always like, that first time where you're like, what did I do wrong? But it does, you find it, you make it happen. I will agree that his save the file directly drag is the easiest way. Because the way I was going about it was
I like the command prompt
as easy.
anyways.
But let's follow up with last minute questions, because I do have to wrap up the meeting with some official business, but I definitely want you guys to, we've got time to grow. Now that we know this seed exists, we can make it happen. We can make fruition. We can get beautiful pear tree, oak, whatever you want. Okay, so Ta, I do have a question. How do you put all your work on here? Like everything you do you put it on here?
No.
Okay.
Some of the stuff that I've been working on in my job, I couldn't post it there. And then I found out maybe late about this. So I didn't put them on. And yeah, I haven't been using the full potential of this thing. Basically like 10% maybe with the GitHub pages that I've uploaded up there.
Which is still pretty impressive, actually, the way I'm seeing things.
It's not that bad still.
So it's a wonderful resource.
So I can, if we have time, I can show you how to set up RStudio as well on GitHub. Do you have time?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Sure.
Because we actually don't have to leave, per se, at the time. So I do need to carry out some official business club-wise in order to push forward with our next meeting. And then if you guys want to play around and stick around with code and try setting up your own accounts, I'm willing to stay. I've got nowhere to go. I got a midterm that I'm not starting tonight. I'm enjoying my Friday. I'm enjoying it. That professor who gave it to me, shady. Shady.
Okay.
So here's one of the things I wanted to touch base with. Miss Michelle, can you see the board okay-ish? Oh, hold
Let
on.
me just stop sharing for a while.
Oh, not yet. How's that, Michelle?
Much better.
I'm gonna have you turn off your mic and your volume. Okay. Okay, so idea-wise, I've had people come to me with ideas on how they would like the last meeting, which is going to be December 8th. That gives people time to focus on finals, things like that. They wanted, one of the suggestions up front was, since we were doing a lot with ggplot, there are still people who said, I would really like, with a lot of people in the room, to just play with ggplot and ggplot fundamentals all together as a group, try some things. We'll bring out some kind of plot that we're trying to achieve with ggplot, but yet we can do it together, and yet at that point come up with our own beautiful version of how we would like to display this. That was an idea for our next meeting. Other people wanted to see, they really like the idea of seeing plots they've never seen. So they wanted us to have a
you know, a good portion of the meeting where people were like, you know, have you ever seen a plot that was used for Box's M test? Here's how you can find that. It may not be the most beautiful plot in the world. As a group, we can make that happen. But still, they were like, I'm interested in learning about what types of plots there are that I've never been exposed to. I'm also opening it up right now. This is what I've been asked for this last meeting. So, to the crowd, to the general consensus, is there something in our last meeting that you'd like to do together as a group? What's on your mind, man?
This is the last meeting. On the last meeting, I really felt twice, and I have worked with the anime before, but I haven't done it to the fullest. So yeah, I would definitely want something like that, a GG anime class.
Again, playing with code together. Play all together, all of us trying something with GG Anime is what you're asking for. Yeah, okay. Okay, play with code. Any other ideas? New members of the club, this is your club too now. This is our home. This is where we come together to grow together. So if there's something exciting that you've seen or want to do and you're now a part of this, please share with me your thoughts. Tell me what it is you'd really like to know or get from this club. Because together, we actually are a great group of individuals.
I like the hands-on idea, like everybody at the same time playing with code and learning how to do stuff. If you could learn how to do like the stuff we saw earlier, like embedding an applet into a site, Power BI stuff, that'd be cool.
Actually playing with Power BI next time, possibly?
Or any of something similar where you can like place like a interactive applet on your site.
Interactive applets. And this is playing. Ms. Megan.
I like the first point as well. I think it might be cool to like have a concept for a plot, but have us all kind of try to approach it in a different way. Like kind of say, okay, we have this plot we're gonna make, or this like idea, and then we can all kind of go at it and help each other like maybe show at the end what we do.
And how each person, or maybe we even do it in groups per se, where it's like each group can have a different way of showing this data, and then we can learn from each other. So you're playing and learning at the same time of what. So okay, so you like this. Okay, I like that. Hillary?
Any sort of playing with code, because sometimes we get so busy doing other things that it's hard to sit down and make time to play.
Right. So that gives us an actual chance to just dive into code together and play.
So I vote for any type of play.
So far. Tintin, how about you? What would you like to do?
Because I'm just a very beginner, so.
You would like to play with R in general? Just get a good start. Let's just play with R. The nice thing about ggplot is, I mean, ggplot is just like anything else in R. I mean, you want to do a t-statistic, then you have to know what to do for the t-statistics. You want to put a plot in ggplot, then you have to know what to do. I mean, everything has its purpose, and R has these built-in functions. So the nice part about it is if you just want to play with R in general, you can start getting familiarized with the R Studio. More specifically, I want to put R Studio. You're going to want that. Okay. Some of our older professors have had a hard time transitioning to R Studio. We're breaking that. We're breaking that. Jessica formally just came out. It's good. You know, I'm so proud of her. And then Kevin's not, but we're going to get there. So our faculty sponsor, guys together.
Very new type of language. Julia. That one, to know just some basic stuff about that. It's up and coming, so it's going to be very big. You can be ahead of the curve. Learning a little bit about that. It can handle a very, very large data sets. It's very
It says Julia.
Yeah, Valerie was talking about Julia. It's up and coming. It's a new hot thing that she's thinking we could get ahead on.
Handle larger data sets.
And it handles larger data sets. Yes, Don.
And me and Dwight, we always have this thing in our head that we guys as statisticians need to go on Kaggle and do competitions.
You guys really should do some sort of thing.
Yeah. Maybe it starts with something small, but you need to do that to show that statisticians can also do the things that these guys do.
Okay, so what I'm actually going to do with that idea is I'm going to leave that. I want the executive committee, now that we have one, to sit together and talk about maybe a competition that is appropriate for our club and see if you guys are interested in that. All we can do is, as your leaders of the club, is present ideas. And as the club, you guys tell us what you want. Okay, this is not my way or the highway. I didn't create this club for you to come here and hear me talk. I came here.
Competitions are actually good to write because people do like overnight, like you have 2 days to analyze the data and you have to present it on 2 slides. So visualization becomes a very, very important key component to those types of competitions. So it actually is very valuable. Certain types of competitions are very valuable.
I think the 4 officers and I we're going to get on that. We're going to get on. If that's something we think we want to be interested in, we'll at least show you what's out there, make decisions from there. But I didn't even know this
I
existed
think
for
we
us.
talked to Jessica, she helped, and White and Jessica, all the kind of do team, all the those competitions.
Perfect. Well, based on what I'm understanding, guys, we want to play with some code. That's what our...
With that.
Yeah, we want to play with some code next meeting. So this one, December 8th, we're going to meet here, same time, 5 o'clock. I have the room already reserved. I will have the alarms turned off. We will be good to go. We are going to play with code that day. Again, me and the executive council members will put together somehow a way to structure it so we're all playing with code together in a way that you're brand new. Have you had a lot of experience with RStudio, Rico? Okay. You're using it right now? Then you are. Okay. So I want us all to be able to play together. So we're gonna definitely, you and me, we'll be a solid team right now. I've already called you as my teammate. We're gonna be okay. So I think that's definitely what I wanted to do prior to us maybe even continuing, because again, you guys don't have to leave. This room is always open as long as we want it to be. But I would like to play more GitHub personally before I end my evening. So. But I'm going to make sure we play with code next meeting. So that's what our next meeting, our last meeting of the semester will be about. Our official first meeting, okay, now this is business-wise. There's an RStudio conference. It's in January, okay? Non-students don't qualify for what I'm about to say, so I apologize for non-student members, okay? I will let you know that professors, non-students, so Valerie, Taha, you guys actually get membership status. You're allowed to do that through our constitution. You don't get voting rights, unfortunately. So even though Taha, he can be an official executive member in the council to help make decisions, he just can never vote. So that's weird, but that's how those bylaws work. As for the rest of you, if you are interested in trying to get some funding through ICC, they're willing to give you $250 of the $600 to go to this RStudio conference. There's still a humongous gap between the full amount and to attend. Yeah, for the admission. So 600, yeah, because the early bird admission was before August. Obviously, our club is way late. But again, in future conferences, we'll be on top of that. We'll be able to try and get funding that's affordable, the $300 range. You know, we just $50 extra, things like that. If you are highly interested in that, I'm not going to make a big deal. You need to speak with me privately. There are steps you have to take. And even then, that's not guaranteed you'll get those $250. But I have all the information that's necessary for you if you're trying to go. And I have a direction where you can get $250 of that $600. So, all right. With that said, Michelle, do you have any comments or concerns you'd like to address the club before I end?
Yeah. I used to work with a group called Lisa at Virginia Tech, and they offered courses. Some of those were basics of R. I have a link, And here it is, where they have some PowerPoints and R files on their website. So if you just kind of want to do a little bit of guided play before next time, if you're unfamiliar with R, it's a good place to start.
So you're saying for brand new R people, this link is a good starting point.
It's got a PowerPoint, it's got some basic code that they can play with, it's got 2 data sets they can download, it gives them the website for R and R Studio so that they can have everything in one place to begin their R journey. So it's a good resource. I know that, I think, what is it, there's a UCLA lab also that has excellent resources on basics in R. So would getting a list of those kind of resources together and posted on our GitHub be a useful thing for people?
I think so. I think at that point we'd be like, new to the graphics world, here's step 1. Absolutely. I think that's something that our club should contribute to. I have talked to the club members as well, and we'll talk more about this during our play meeting. We would like to host, the discussion is an R Studio workshop for the campus the second week of spring semester. This should have tremendous impact on people who are the undergraduates. Second, you're about to take Maury's class. You're going to want to be there. It's definitely the time of the year where it seems most fitting to supply this type of information to the school. And that's how we're going to start off our club as a new charter, showing how we contribute to the community. All right. Well, with that said, Michelle, thank you. Congratulations, first of all, to all the new official executive members to the club. Thank you for being a part of the team. All right, guys, let's have some fun. I'm going to stop recording, by the way. Michelle, you can stick on if you want, but if you got business to do, your husband's right there. Hello.
Oh, he came for the meeting.
Hi. Oh, rock on, man. Rock on, man. Did you get to see about the GitHub and how that dealio is going to be cool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, parts of it.
You got to see most of it. He had to go help with Landon a little bit. I have helped teach these short courses before.
Okay.
And I have done other programming teaching. So basically what it is people who are interested